Hi, I'm Coach CoachClemens, and welcome to another edition of Tips for a Perfect Season. In our last episode, we talked about the importance of a practice plan and what are some of the elements that go into that. In this edition, I'd like to talk about chalk talks, because I think they're a key part of your practice plan. Now, what's a chalk talk? Well, a chalk talk is your opportunity as a coach to lead your team. It's when you gather your kids together before, during, or after practice or a game and talk to them about key lessons, things they're learning, making sure that everybody's on the right track. A chalk talk should always be more than the logistics of the next game or practice. I mean, that's not chalk talk. That's house cleaning. Chalk talk really needs to be about strategy and moving your group of kids forward. So why do we do them? Well, chalk talks help us calibrate everything that's going on, making sure that, again, everybody is on the same page, moving at the same pace. They help us process some things. Sometimes some kids will get concepts, and some kids won't. It's your opportunity to process through that. Or if the entire team's really struggling with something, some pieces of strategy or some things that either your team did or another team did, it's an opportunity to process through those. Also, to reinforce things that you've been talking about throughout the season. Kids need to hear things many, many times before they sink in and they become theirs. So use chalk talks as an opportunity to reinforce the things that you've talked about earlier in the season. Chalk talks are also a great time to address questions. Actively ask your kids if they have questions. Sometimes in the heat of a practice, when you've got a drill going on, they may be a little bit apprehensive of asking questions, not wanting to break things up. When you get them all together and they're sitting down and having some water, that's a great time to address some questions. All right, so the key is don't miss this opportunity to lead your team. That's your job as a coach, to lead this team, and chalk talks are a way to get your team there. Now, there's no set rule in terms of length of a chalk talk. Sometimes they might be 2 to 3 minutes long. Other times they might need to be 15 to 20 minutes long. Depends on what you need to accomplish as the coach and also where your kids are at that day. Sometimes you might have 20 minutes planned and boy, they're only going to be in the mood for 2 or 3. The other thing is that it doesn't really matter where in your practice that you have your chalk talk. Sometimes they're great at the beginning to kind of set the tone for the practice. Other times it's great to have them in the middle of the practice and break things up a little bit. And sometimes they're best at the end to kind of leave them thinking about something for the next couple of days when you may not have the opportunity to interact with them. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Tips for a Perfect Season. Hope to see you on our next episode. And here's to your perfect season.